That means integral.
Integral?
Integral.
What?
Integral.
Integral.
It means the total area under a curve. Alright, let's start this podcast off. Count us down in 3, 2, 1. Miguel, how's it going, buddy?
I'm good.
Another podcast.
Sorry we haven't been here. Life's been
running us over.
That's for sure.
The last couple of weeks, so sorry for the viewers on YouTube. The last couple of weeks, both Miguel and I, Miguel's been playing gigs. I've been playing gigs, doing homework, doing work, life, wife, kids for you. I don't have kids, at least not
wife,
for me.
Kids, political practices, just up and down, just parties. Yeah, I'm sitting here writing multi-step integral functions, and this fucker's going out and partying. No,
I love it.
Yeah, to my kids' party.
To his kids' parties, yeah. So what do we want to talk about? I think this whole episode, since we're kind of catching up on several weeks of not really having a podcast, this is going to be an episode of Gripes, you guys. A special edition, limited run series of real talk. Well, honestly, that's why most of the people that have been giving us a lot of positive feedback, they like the podcast, not because of what it is, but that we have just real talk about mariachi lifestyle. Being in the gig life and all that kind of stuff. But, the real talk isn't us calling people out. That's bullshit talk, essentially, is what that is.
Yeah.
But we're just really talking about our week-to-week, day-to-day challenges. Yeah. So we're going to start off with Miguel's gripes.
Oh, man.
Miguel, I know you have a list of gripes for the last 4 weeks. Let's start off with what you got. I'm just going to sit back and drink my juice.
Yeah. I think one of my first gripes, definitely... I wonder from any of our viewers, have you ever been to a gig where you had to walk away?
Like from the gig?
From what you were playing for, what you were, kind of like what you were gonna be representing, so to say. And I'm referring to a lot of
the gig
this,
you had, right?
The gig I had,
the white people gig you played for.
The white people I had.
Shit.
Yeah, we played for this gig, and it was a
company that shall remain
Independence Mexican Independence Day.
Yeah.
And we, normally we're like, okay, yeah, but it was a company party, whatever.
Corporate party.
Corporate party and
financial industry. We won't name the industry.
And it was two on two separate occasions. One was on Mexican Independence Day, and I think maybe I brought this up on the last podcast. I'm not sure. But it happened to us again.
Oh, shit.
Yes, it happened to us. And this was when I was playing with Mario. I played... No, actually, Mario was out of town. I played with his brother Angel.
Don't be putting him on blast on the podcast. We don't know what Mario was up to.
No, Mario was out of town. But anyways, same concept. We walk in, a different corporate party, in a real fancy, high-class golf course. And
I fucking hate golf courses.
They literally had two donkeys.
That's the bad sign.
With sarapes on over them, right?
It's like when you go to Mexico and there's a donkey, something bad's about to happen. Or someone or something is about to... Yeah, okay, continue.
But and poor freaking donkeys, man. They had on one side they had beer, Coronas. On the other side they have like margaritas. They were like holders, right? And so what they wanted us to do was to have the donkeys lead us into the party.
Playing.
That's
a little degrading. That kind of reminds me of like that time that Martha Stewart got busted for like having a slavery-themed or servant-themed Southern party. It's like, well, it's kind of an authentic thing. There used to be black people serving us food. It's like, that's kind of fucked up.
It's like, and it's like they wanted us to lead the people that were having during their cocktail hour into the eating area, the buffet area, right? So it's the same thing. It's like, imagine if I don't know, I hired we had a Nazi party, right? And I invited a bunch of Jewish people, and And we were like, hey, why don't you lead them into these life-size ovens? You know what I mean?
Everyone gets into the pool, yeah.
Let's please walk in the people into the gas
das
chambers.
Das Wanzen sind Pool.
I mean,
das Wanzen Pool.
I mean, it is super degrading.
It is
super. Very, I don't know. I just took it as.
And the problem is they are kind of oblivious to the fact this is kind of an offensive thing that they're doing. They're to them, it's like, oh, it's just fun.
Yeah,
we're in the Southwest. This is Arizona. This is what people do. It's like, no, this is kind of this is past borderline offensive. This is a straight up offensive.
So, if there's any of our viewers that have been in that situation, Matt, please share with us.
How have you handled that? Yeah, have you gone
like,
into a really bad situation or a really bad gig, or because there's that's an extreme level of bad, right? Mm-hmm. You're in a safe environment. There's corporate people. What are they going to do to you, right? Unless it's like a hostile type
I think the best line though was from one of our trumpet players in the group when the coordinator came up to us and they're like, "Hey, yeah, have you guys ever performed with donkeys before?" And my trumpet player said, "No, this is the first time we performed for an ass."
Oh, there you go.
And the coordinator was just laughing like, "Oh, that's a good one." And we were like, "Yeah, jackass."
So there's that extreme. Walking away from kind of a really offensive, degrading, sellout type of gig.
Yes, and I was super upset with my director. Like, I was like, why would you book us and have a contract? Was it not in the contract? He was like, this was nothing in the contract.
I had no idea what
all they told me was we were playing for this corporate party, but they didn't tell us that this was
going to be
for that event, So, but twice that happened to me. The second time, it was like all I saw that donkey, and I was just like, "Are you kidding me?"
And it sucks too, because you have the beard, you got the hair, you're short. It's not a good scene for you. You're walking in traje. That's really bad scene.
I might as well. No, I might as well have been. The Colombian cafe, the cafe dude. What's his name?
Juan Valdez.
Juan Valdez, right?
There you go. You might as well have done that.
Might as well have just done that.
It's like, how much are they going to pay you to degrade yourself that way? That's the true form of selling out, right?
No, and I think what was worse for me was that I saw how people reacted.
How did they react?
They were like, ha ha ha, just laughing, and then they took selfies with the donkeys.
Jesus,
so right there. We're performing art. We are representing our culture.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter now what we play. It doesn't matter how we sound.
It could be Vargas playing that gig.
Yeah, because now you're just the joke of the party.
Yeah. That sucks, man. So bad gigs. That kind of, I think I shared with you a video of Mariachi Vargas playing a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. And they're in Mexico. You can tell that they're in Mexico. And I was telling you kind of like tracks. I'll post the link to the video that we're talking about. I would love to play it here, but you get YouTube copyright and that guy, man. It's just never ending struggle. But basically, Vargas is playing their set, and I think they're in kind of like northern Mexico type area because they're asking for columpio, and they're asking for all the norteño songs, right? And there's guys in the back like norteños. El Columpio, ¿sabes? El Columpio. And I'm just like, and Vargas is trying to play like their set, right? A concert set, in the States, something that would probably run you like 40 G's, right?
Not your talon set.
Not a talon set, right?
Because if you want to hear a talon, hire a regular mariachi.
Yeah. There's a guy, I remember real distinctly, this guy, he's like, El carretero. And it's like, they started playing carretero, but it's the son. And I'm pretty sure that he wanted the other Carretero Ensenada, that like the ranchera song, right? And so Vargas just plays the song kind of just to be like, cue, and they even addressed him like a couple of times. He's interrupting, and it's like, that kind of disrespectful audience and that disrespectful venue, and it's not just in the United States. It can be in Mexico just as easily.
Oh yeah,
and I'm like. How do you deal with something like that? Like when we play gigs here in Phoenix, you occasionally get that guy who's maybe a little too plastered, drink a little too much, has an attitude. More than likely, it's the person that did not pay for the mariachi that's requesting a ton of songs and won't shut up. How do you deal with that? We usually just humor him, but like, have you ever seen that go really bad?
Oh yeah, very bad. Actually, there was one gig that the performance that me and you had. that night, the one was it about a month ago, right?
Something.
I didn't go. I wasn't with the other mariachi that I played with. Well, they went. They had the worst experience ever. I guess supposedly they were playing for a wedding, and this guy was mad because the group didn't know one song, just one song that he asked for that they didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it was that same type of person, male or female. Oh, pues todos los mariachis lo tocan, and every mariachi plays that. But I'm like, lady, you're asking for a banda song, or you're asking for a Carlos y Jose song, or something.
Yeah, something not mariachi.
Something not mariachi. But in their mind, oh no, I've heard it. Well, then show me. Can you tell me who sang it?
Yeah.
Oh, pues todos tocan. That's always their answer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, I guess supposedly the father of the bride completely ruined the
wedding.
The wedding.
How he ruined the wedding?
He completely, because he threatened two of the guys there. He had a gun.
Ooh, I've seen that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they it was the first time that my director told me, in his 25 years of playing, that was the first time that they ever had to walk away, not finish the two. They had a 2-hour contract.
I'll leave.
And they just left. So yeah, it was
he brandished a gun. So how did it get to the point between some random guy asking for an erroneous song to?
Because he got louder and louder and louder and louder and louder, and just started being very disruptive. Just yelling until the group would just said, you know what, let's get out of here. This is getting really bad, because he was getting in their faces.
Yeah.
They walked outside. They were waiting for the director, because the director, I don't know, had some kind of emergency that he left. He came back, and when he came back, all that had already went down. They were just like, nope, we're out of here.
Done here.
Yeah. I've had a lot of those situations where it just gets worse and worse and worse. So the way to handle it,
it's a good thing I wasn't
is either
I would have fucking choked that guy.
I think the best way to handle it, like if you don't know a song, and if you know another song close to it, or maybe by the same artist or something,
you'll offer something else.
Yes, you'll offer something else. You try to calm them down and be like, hey, look.
Just relax. We'll do this one.
Yeah.
I've only once ever in, almost 15 years? 10 years? I don't know. It's been a while. 15 years about playing. I've only once ever had to actually give my instrument to somebody else and go to the person that's being obnoxious and telling him, look, you need to, either you sit down, or when we take our break, I'm going to fuck you up. Like, I'm not kidding anymore. Sit down. You can go to the restaurant owner. Whatever you want to do, whatever ruckus you want to make. At the end of the night, we're going to fight. And I'm like, okay, I'm ready to do this. If he stands up, I'm going to throw him right in the face, right? Mm-hmm. Only once. Once in Nogales, a guy actually pulled a gun on us. He's like, aquí está tu paga, right? And he's like, get the fuck out of my house. And I was just like, I guess we're screwed. We got to go. And so, yeah, we missed out on like 6 hours of playing because of this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why sometimes I like to, I don't want to advocate for violence, but it's kind of like maybe sometimes when you play gigs in not so good areas, you want to have someone who's strapped just in case it escalates to that situation where you're like, hey, you're strapped. I'm strapped too.
Yep. Felicidades.
Are we gonna have a gunfight right now? Yeah. You really want to do this? Because a lot of the time, it can escalate really quickly. And you don't really know if someone... I mean, I hear stories about Phoenix people getting shot all the time. Just regular people going to the quick trip. And people getting fucking wasted in the gas pump. So it's like, you got to really be careful about that. You can't mess around with that. You got to leave.
You just got to... sometimes you just got to walk away. Because it's really not worth it. Is it really worth...
Either I'm going to get shot or I'm going to shoot somebody else.
Making $50-$60 for your life? Like in an hour?
Oh, no. Yeah, I'm out. I'm out of here.
See you.
Sometimes, though, it's like, well, okay, we're leaving. And then, if they push it further, it's like, okay, now it's no longer about the money. This guy's following me to my car. It's like, okay, man, I'm in a life or death situation here. What am I going to do? Like, I'm getting amped up just thinking about it. It's like, we've all been in, we're from the South Side. We've all seen a gun. We've all had one pulled on us. One. Yeah, or we own several. Yeah, that's a bad situation, man. So wow, so they just left and
they just left, and I know for sure, that director just blacklisted them. Like,
yeah, no more.
We're never gonna get them, and it's sad because he wasn't even. It was just the father of the bride that was just all pissed off. They told me that the bride was just in tears.
Yeah, I would
and
be
apologizing
too.
because the it was her brother and her father that were just making everything just drunk and
Yeah,
that's the crappy part, man.
There's a certain point where some people you got to just get serious with them for a second, look them straight in the eye, and be like, "Look, this isn't a fucking game anymore. You're crossing a line." And it's like, yeah, that's usually where my look comes in handy.
That would be a good time to have you there.
That would have been a good time to have Jason there. It's like, this 6'2" big Mexican looking guy looks kind of pissed. And he doesn't look quite Mexican. He's got something else in him. He's got some kind of chino in him. He might fuck me up.
Man. Yeah.
So bad gigs. Bad gigs. Yeah, we've all been there. Put in the comments below, guys, bad gigs that you guys have had. I've seen some crazy shit go down at weddings. I've seen brides not show up for a mass.
Shit. I've seen bridesmaids fight at La Paloma, man. La Paloma Resort in Tucson, man. I'll never forget that one.
That is
during the cocktail hour.
Oh my god.
They weren't even in the reception area, and I don't know what happened. This was a long time ago with when I was with Reyes.
Decades ago.
And I remember we were just standing like in the lobby area of the cocktail hour before they let everybody in.
You think those are going to be nice gigs?
Oh yeah, because
they're going to be nice. Yeah. It's chill. You're just going to play. Nope. You might eat. You might,
Somebody said something to something, and sure enough, what song do you think we were playing in the middle of the whole thing?
You guys weren't playing Mariachi Local, were you? Oh man.
Remember, we were young.
Did you keep playing it?
No, we had to stop. It was like, and all you saw was like two girls just go like this, knock the other girl.
You should have kept playing.
No. Well, we were playing for a little bit. We're like, what the hell is going on, right? And all you seen was the grooms. They're just enjoying the show.
We're not going to get into that shit. We're just going to have
until finally, we
got beers. Let's see how this goes down.
Until finally they stopped it. But no, I've been through.
I've been at a gig in Midvale. I think this was about maybe 2009, 2008. This is before I joined Tapatio. And I was just being a whore, playing with whoever, just
after Cuco or like after.
Yeah, right after Cuco's group. Yeah, there was a good stretch of a couple of years. Between Cuco and Tapatio, where I was just playing with whoever, I was like, I don't care, whatever. I got a guitar, right? It's I'm like a $2 street whore for mariachi, dude. It was really bad. And so we were playing in Midvale, and there's a little ruckus building up in the backyard of the party, right? And you're like, okay, well, we're just still playing, and then you see a bunch of people run out into the front of the house, into the street, and then it's a small house, right? It's a small little house in Midvale, and then you just see like a flash and then pop, real loud, and someone got shot. Like someone pulled out a gun and started shooting. Like a family member shot another family member at the same party.
Jesus.
I was like, oof. And so we're looking around like, oh fuck, is he gonna come back here and start shooting at us? Like, what's going on? And we're like trying to get out the back gate, and it's locked with a lock, and we're like, oh my god, crazy shit happens, man. I wonder if they have these problems in like Los Angeles.
I'm sure they do.
LA is fucking gang territory. There's got to be some crazy stuff that goes down in LA.
Yeah, I think bigger cities, bigger problems, right?
Probably. Phoenix has a lot of problems, a little more than Tucson.
Oh yeah, I think a lot more. I think the problem in Tucson right now is everybody's getting hit and run, man. There's a lot of pedestrian deaths over there in Tucson, man.
Well,
I hear, man.
Tucson city planners, they need to stop hiring C-average city planners with half a brain, because they have in Tucson you have crosswalks, and I've never realized this until I lived in Phoenix. You have crosswalks just randomly in the middle of a 4-way street. It's like, get that shit out of there and put in an actual crosswalk and have people stop getting run over.
Yeah,
because Phoenix, like, they have actual dividers for crosswalks here. Otherwise, you have to walk to the next light to cross the street. But yeah, in Tucson, there's like just like a little faded, looks like a speed bump crosswalk in the middle of the street, and it's like, well, no wonder people are getting fucking run over in Tucson. It's terrible.
Yeah. What else, man?
There's more gripes in there.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
We got some more in there. Miguel's gripes. How are we doing on time? Wow, we have only started. We gotta keep doing this regularly, man. It feels like the first day that you start working out after you haven't been working out for like a couple weeks, and you're getting winded and huffing and puffing.
Yeah. Well, I'm starting something new. I was just telling you earlier. I I'm gonna help musically this youth group here in Phoenix.
Let's promote that group.
They're called Mariachi Corazón del Valle.
Corazón del Valle.
They were under the direction of another director. I guess for whatever reasons it didn't work out. Student teacher or teacher student. I have no idea. So hopefully, I'm gonna do. I didn't want to make any promises with them. I just told them, hey, let's see if I'm a good fit. We're a good fit. How we get it, because I think it's super important for the respect to go both ways and to have a good fit. Obviously, if
a mutual rapport with the teachers and the students, definitely. Right? So how do you view kind of like teacher-student behavior? Because like I've seen growing up, we've all seen a lot of crazy shit, right? Mm-hmm. And we've seen good relationships go out the fucking window.
Yeah.
And directors
because of egos.
Egos is one thing, and then you have kind of directors that kind of pour all their time and their heart and their effort, and then it's just on the back end. It's like, hey, thanks for all your work, and go kindly fuck yourself, right? It's
like I've learned everything I can get out of you, so now I'm on my way to something else.
Yeah, you're useless to me.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty sad, because there's, I think, a good musician that has standards for himself will always go back to basics.
Yeah.
Always go back to basics. And where did you learn those basics? From that teacher you told to go fuck himself.
Yeah. I mean, you try to be an amiable... I think the good thing about mariachi music in general, especially in this day and age, is you want to try to promote amiable people, right? And you want to bring up people to be amiable and not shitty and not someone you want to punch in the face. Mm-hmm. I've come across a lot of students where I'm like, you know what? I'd really like to punch you in the face, right? Yeah. And it's like, just because of your overall personality, right? So... I pretty much just stay away from them. It's like, you do you, man. Go. Good luck.
Good luck. Exactly.
I'm not saying it sarcastically.
Don't waste that energy. No, don't waste your energy, your time and energy on that.
Yeah.
I think you.
Not even for a little bit. If I get a little hint of that, I'm like, all right, later, dude. I'm out. I'm done. I'm done. I'm not going to sit here and try to feed a dead horse. You know what I mean? It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So rapport with a director and a youth group. What are your kind of thoughts on that? I mean, when is it too strict? When is it too lax? It's like being a high school teacher.
It's funny. I think for me, number one, actually one of the parents had told me this. Yeah, they told me, because I had asked them, well, what were the previous problems? Like, what was like the biggest thing that caused the whole thing? Not on like exactly like a personal between the director and the teacher, but I think she told me that if I was gonna take this on, to hold the students accountable.
That's tough. And then you got to draw lines.
Yes. Well, and I knew where she was coming from.
Benchmarks.
I knew where she was coming from, and that's when, if I were to tell my students, hey, for next practice, I want this down. I want you guys to work on this for this whole week. You got till next, 7 days from now. You work on this, whatever I assigned them, right? Well, come next practice, I want to make sure that every student practice exactly what I told them to, because obviously we're gonna know if you practice or not.
Oh yeah.
So how do you how do you hold them accountable if they come to practice unprepared?
There's got to be sanction. So for me, I've never been a teacher. I've only ever given lessons to certain students. Mm-hmm. I'll give them so many chances. It's like, first time, okay, I get it. I'm not your parent. Okay, you came unprepared. All right, thanks. I think of it kind of like how orchestra is in high school, right?
Yeah.
Where you have rankings in position. You get kind of, every time you get together for rehearsal, you get your opportunity to show how prepared you are, whether it's good or bad, right? And if you're unprepared, that's a different thing, right? You can be prepared and suck, right? Just not know it. It's like, okay, I can tell you tried. You're not at a level that you have challenges to overcome. You didn't slack off. You're just not there. No big deal. I'm not going to give you shit for it. Then you can tell the student that's just not prepared. Like, all of a sudden is looking at the music. All of a sudden is trying. I'm like, all right. Without getting pissed, try not to do this, right? Because this is a bad visual cue. It's like, okay, so I'm kind of getting the vibe that you're not prepared. Let's walk through it really quickly and still give them their moment and say, okay, so next time I need you to be prepared. And we're going to do this again. I think consistency is probably the best policy, right? So, definitely. Beginning of rehearsal, go through, what did I ask you to prepare last week? That's the first thing you do, right? Before you get to anything else, right? Some people like to go through stuff and then get to it. I'm like, no. Be straight up, be consistent. All right, prepare, just like orchestra class, right? Mm-hmm. If you're supposed to prepare a sonnet, you're supposed to have it done, right? If you're supposed to have 15 scales in every mode done, okay, let's go through this set. First set. Okay, now we're prepared for the piece, right? Yeah. I don't have to spend time teaching you how to play the piece. We just have to spend time preparing the piece, right? Mm-hmm. Getting it down. I think that's the thing. Consistency breeds accountability in a music class, in every setting. Mm-hmm. And then learning how to control your emotions to not get super pissed off, and understanding where you fit with a sanction. Mm-hmm. Like, how many times are you going to allow a student to be unprepared before you just ask them to leave? It's not the first time. You can't be like that asshole in that movie Whiplash, where it's like the first time some stellar student missed the beat, you're throwing a fucking chair at him. No, you can't be that guy.
No, of course not.
But you can't be the guy that 16 rehearsals in, this student still doesn't understand their music.
Or does the same exact music.
Has the same level, same performance. At a certain point, you got to be like, okay, so we're now getting to a point where you're holding everybody back, right? We're going to start getting to a point where I got to put you either out of this section, you're going to have to go back. I'll offer this once. I'll take extra time once. Get you to where you need to be. If you don't go there, this ain't for you.
Exactly. Right?
This ain't for you. And then you're going to get pissed off parents. But the consistency, if you're talking to the parent, say, this is what I did today. This is what I observed today. Mm-hmm. Now, if you get a moron parent, which I've seen plenty of those too, you're still going to get a parent that's like, my kid practices all the time, and I swear, because I paid for that instrument. I paid for that violin, so I know he's practicing. It's like, it's nice that you paid for the instrument, but he's not fucking practicing. Yeah. There's no way. Does he have cerebral palsy? What's going on here? There's no way that this can be true, right? Yeah. You can't fake engineering and math, and you can't fake music.
No. Definitely not.
Those are some of the things that you can't bullshit your way through. Music is definitely one of those universal things that you can't fake, right? Martial arts, mathematics, and music. You can't bullshit that. So I think that the answer to your question is, be consistent with them, understand where the boundaries are going to be set kind of in your mind, and then internally try to figure out how you're going to control your emotional responses, right? Yeah. When is the point where you're going to get fucking pissed? Like, when I was at the School of Music, we had, his name is Dr. Kolosik. I don't know if he's still alive or not, but he retired the year that I was a freshman. I was his last freshman student there. Timid, mild-mannered, like, okay, guys, we're going to go through Beethoven's triad form, and he would play it, and so chill, right? Well, about the second semester, some people are getting a little, shitty. It was just a bad day. Right around midterms. Just
getting comfortable, more like.
Getting really comfortable, and they're talking, right? And he's talking about, Bach and some of the Romantic period music. And it's a big class, about 70 students, right? It's been dwindled down from about 200. And he's like, and you have to go through this form and not talk when I'm talking. And he got that fucking loud in this big auditorium, and everyone went, and like, we were quiet for the next 10 classes. Nobody even asked a question. Like, all of a sudden, you see this short, skinny, white, half German man who's so timid and chill, quiet, just apparently, this is so funny. Apparently, he used to have an anger management problem. And so he had to actually take counseling and take a few semesters off for anger management, because he was more like that guy in Whiplash than his timid, nice, self. And it just came up all of a sudden. So yeah, you got to have to find that control emotionally, right? Because sometimes they need it. Students need to know when their teacher is giving them all they got, and they're not delivering, And then it's not for them to get yelled at or disciplined. It's a moment for you to say, you know what? What am I doing that's not getting through to you? Like, what is it that I am not doing to get through to you that you need to come to practice prepared? Because obviously I'm not doing it right. Cause,
I'm not doing my job if you're not doing yours.
Yeah, exactly. And it sucks, man. It's like the leader has to get kicked in the teeth, right? The teacher has to take all the shit. And I think that's what you're going to face.
Yeah, I think I definitely notice the change in not only society,
Society.
I mean,
society is getting weak.
Yeah,
weak people.
But even these new musicians that are coming in, and we've talked about it before, where
everyone gets trophy.
But they want to jump straight up.
Oh yeah, go from playing Decolotes to playing
to El Cascabel or
Cascabel 12.
And it's funny. I just saw a video on here on YouTube. Saludos a El Zombie on Vihuela TV.
That dude's badass.
He's badass. Love you, man. I've never met you, but
yeah, no, man.
Saludos, brother.
I hope someday we can collaborate, man, because we've
awesome.
been exchanging comments on some of our videos.
Uh-huh.
And I've been watching him since the days back in like when YouTube wasn't even a thing.
Oh yeah,
when he had the mask on playing La Bikina with the guitarón player.
Yeah,
I was like, I know that's you, man. I know that's you. It's badass.
But he brought up something important, Vihuela. He was just like, the problem is that everybody, what grasps their interest on playing a Vihuela?
Playing fast,
all these fast,
yeah,
fast, fancy songs, and everybody forgets about what's down here.
Oh yeah, there's a whole basin.
Dude, it's like this, and it's like they just want to be straight up in the North Pole.
They want to be the tip of the iceberg,
and they don't want to be here. You know,
it's like the iceberg analogy. They want to be that tip of the iceberg that looks really cool, and you look under it, and it's like, holy shit, there's all this stuff under here, right? And it's like, yeah,
and that's the thing. I think that's the problem with even some teachers now. It's like they want their 12-year-old kids to be
prodigy
up here.
Not everybody's a prodigy.
No.
And even prodigies have to work at being a prodigy.
Exactly.
The more talent, I think I told this to a student once, the more talent and ability you have, the harder you have to work in order to get further than yourself. Mm-hmm. You have a high bar because you have such an ability. You think you can just slack off? Everyone's going to catch up to you. And then you're no longer going to be that prodigy. Mm-hmm. You're just going to be the same.
Yep.
It's like you have to work twice as hard to go even further than you could.
How many times have we seen our own teachers? Some of our own teachers. And I'm not saying like our big teachers, but like the ones that were like maybe generation above us, that we've literally
came up.
Well, because they were so focused teaching us. They were so focused on that.
Those people I wouldn't say that were necessarily your teachers. They were like your older peers, right? Because we have some of those, right? I know I have a couple in my past where they had been playing for more years than I had, right? And it's like, okay, I have a lot of ground to cover in a short amount of time. So I would work, and then all of a sudden, it's like, hey, all of a sudden I play 5 instruments, and that guy still only plays 1 instrument. Mm-hmm. And it's like you work so quickly where you're like, holy shit, I surpassed this person years ago, and I didn't even realize it. Yeah. And it's like that's not.
I ran into a couple of those, and I was like, what happened? What happened here?
What the fuck?
But see, you don't see that now.
No,
you don't see that now.
No, not with today's society. It's too easy to do.
I think that's the challenges that I'm gonna face. Entitlement, everybody's entitled to everything, and attention span. Dude, we didn't have no damn phones and Facebook and all this shit.
I didn't even have a MySpace back in the day.
Bro, I didn't even have a pager, bro. So I was like, I don't know, in 8th grade, man.
Only drug dealers had pagers back in the day. I wasn't slanging.
Yeah, the 911 upside down messages.
That was so funny back in the day, man. People had pagers, and like you could always tell the poser who wasn't. He had a pager. I was like, why do you have a pager? Are you slanging? It's like, no, he's not slanging. It's
Maybe I was, Jason. What are you gonna call me out for?
Well, you got to make your money somehow.
Shit, I went to Utterback, bro.
Oh, fucking Utterback. Woo! I almost went there. I almost went there. I ended up going to Mansfield for a little bit. For a minute.
It's even worse, man.
It's even worse. Those damn uniforms. Oh, man. Don't they understand what they're doing with uniforms? And Southside schools are breeding future most wanted of America. That's what they're doing. It's really bad.
But if I could get advice from the viewers, like,
yes.
About, because this is my very first time even attempting to do this, and like I said, I didn't make any. I'm not gonna make any promises. This might not work out for me. I don't know. I mean,
you might do 2 weeks and say
30,
nope.
Yeah, I'm 36 years old. Yeah. Now, and I think I feel like I'm ready for this. Even though you go to some of these mariachi conferences and people are paying to get taught by a 20 or 21-year-old kid, and you're like,
we should talk about that next.
Yeah.
Let's have that be our next gripe. Continue.
But I think first impressions. I think like what I'm.
Have you met them already?
Tomorrow I'm gonna meet most of them. Yeah.
Shit. Okay. Cool.
But I'm gonna set standards.
Lay down the law.
Lay down the law, basically. What they should expect from me, what I expect from them.
Maybe instead of saying standards, I would probably just call them just some basic ground rules. Mm-hmm. How I'm gonna, what you guys can expect from me, mm-hmm. and what I'm gonna hope to expect from you guys. Mm-hmm. I think that's the teacher.
And if not, there's the door. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not
if you don't like it,
no, there's
the door. Don't let it hit you on the ass on the way out.
I'm not gonna be like like super strict. Army strict. But I'm not gonna be too lenient either. I want to have a. Well,
it's kind of like our own group, right? So we have a set of people here in Phoenix that we're trying to start working with, and we've already played gigs. Mm-hmm. We have upcoming work with this, right? So if you guys are watching this podcast, we're talking to you guys.
Yeah.
What's up?
What's up?
What's up, homies? So for me, my whole thing is we're getting down to pouring the concrete for the house, right? I'm not gonna teach you guys music theory. I'm not gonna teach you guys every arrangement that ever came out. And at this point, we wouldn't even have the time or the capacity to do that kind of work right now, right? What I noticed and what somebody else pointed out to me at a gig the other day is at a bare minimum, let's work on starting a piece at the same time and ending a piece at the same time.
Definitely.
And it's woo. Talk about basics. For a whole group to get some sort of cognitive dynamic at this point, because we're all old, we've all been playing for a long time. So
if not, we're gonna end up playing at the Food Cities, bro. Mm-mm.
I would like to avoid having to take that kind of work, and I would like to avoid being coerced into saying, "Hey, we need to do this for exposure." It's the bar is set where it's set in Phoenix, good, bad, or indifferent, right? There's plenty of people playing, so who cares about them? Not who cares about them, but I'm not comparing us to them at this point, right? No. We're not at the point yet where we can say we're comparable to another group.
Yes.
We haven't even gotten there. So we're not even going to consider that.
No.
Let's just, the people that we're going to work with, we're all professionals and adults at this point, right? Let's take a very simple piece and see if we can all start at the same time, play the same or at most a similar arrangement, and end at the same time. And in between, I'm going to be looking for weak spots. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be looking for points where it's okay, trumpet missed the scale. Violin played that flat. Okay, I'm not calling you out, but this is what I'm hearing. Let's try it again. Let's go through it. All right, because I can hear it. I'm not going to bullshit you saying it was perfect. Okay, because I can hear.
Just like they would be able to hear wrong chords.
Yeah, And so if I'm playing a bunch of modulation type chords like a D minor 7, a minor 7 chord, or a dominant 7 chord, or those are modulation type chords between keys. I was thinking about this on the way home. The first time I saw Cobre perform live, I was thinking of that Popurrí Jorge Negrete. That was one of the first times I saw Cobre, right? And that fucked me up for life because it's so simple, right? Jorge Negrete, these are simple songs, right? But you hear the progressions in that song. How does the thing start? It's like and you have 3-part harmony voices coming in, singing, da, bum, 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 and then Steve singing. And then you have that scale chord progression. You have, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do. And then you go D7, and that's a 5 of 5 in that key. Mm-hmm. Here's this temporary modulation. But it's so powerful, it's impactful, right? And then it sounds like you're going to F, but you're still in C, right? So, okay, so that's pretty phenomenal writing and real simple classical composition, right? Mm-hmm. Do I think that we could play that as a group right now? No. We would fall flat on our face. It would be like a 2-year-old trying to ride a mountain bike, right? Not to say that the 2-year-old is incapable of learning how to ride the mountain bike, but it's the same dynamic with our group. We have to come together and say, let's just work on starting the same time.
Yep.
And, okay, we got that down. All right, let's go to the next thing. These are the arrangements we want to play. How do we review them? Are you having trouble listening to stuff? Okay. Mm-hmm. Do you need me to write it out for you? Okay, let's sit down and write it out. Okay, good. You got it? Okay, good. It's in the bank, right? Mm-hmm. I don't ever have to do this again. I can just call the song, and you'll know it forever, right? That's the same approach you got to take with those kids. You got to set that initial bar and give and take expectation, right? And it's pressure on you because that means that you're not going to be perfect. You're going to falter. You're going to miss a chord. You're going to write something that's not correct. You're going to fuck up. It's natural. Mm-hmm. And then I think the thing for you, though, because this is just how you are, if you do that, you're going to be like, oh, I messed that up. No, never mind. Cross it out. Okay, let's go. Let's do it again. Or, you know, or, hey, can you hear that? Do you know what that is? Like, okay, yeah. You're going to be able to work with these kids. Yeah. As long as the mutual give-take is there, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I've never taught a group like that before. I mean, that's a big one. I've only ever walked away from shit.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is I want them. They're young. They're starving. I want them to,
especially in Phoenix.
Yeah, and I don't want them to pick up these bad habits that are here.
Woo, man, they're gonna get them. Otherwise, right?
Yeah. Simple but with stuff. Me, I'm not gonna let that happen. I refuse to let that happen.
Most of the guys that like our peers, they mostly start with theory. They hammer that pretty hard. Mm-hmm. That's going to be definitely one of the things you want to have in the toolbox of, okay, here's the theory. Like when I taught at a conference or two, it's like, okay, first thing you got to do is like time, right? Because we're teaching armonía players. Here's all of the time, just in case, because we're in an intermediate class. I'm not assuming that you know all of the actual time, you know, in notation. So we go through that. We go through rests. Okay, any questions? Okay, you guys know how to count? Okay, we're going to count. You see this? That's what this means. Okay, let's go forward. And then dun 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 dun. Okay, that's about the next speed. And then dun 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 dun. Okay, and you just go for hours, right? Yeah, it'll be interesting. You're going to have to evaluate them first.
Oh, yeah, no. Tomorrow definitely is.
You have to ask them to play a piece. Have a piece in mind and ask them like if they can play it, right?
Yeah, well, they already have their like repertoire. They already have like a certain set. So I'm really going to pick out songs that I want to hear. Yeah. And then I'm going to definitely know what I'm going to have to work on with them, Mm-hmm. How to, that's all, it's just how to, just chisel. Yeah. Chisel it down,
Add a little bit, take away a little bit. Yeah, man. It's interesting. I've never done the whole ambitious director thing. It's not my personality.
Well, for the next podcast, if you see me with gray hairs or if I don't make it because I had a heart attack or something, well, then you know what happened.
Those fucking kids killed you? I'm like, oh! They start playing Violin Mapango and you're like Ruben Fuentes is just rolling over in his grave. Something like that. It's awful. Yeah. Well, damn, man. So very good for you. How long have we been talking? Ooh. Whoa. Now we came up at about 45 minutes on this podcast. Very nicely done. Mm-hmm. Anything else, Miguel, that we want to touch on for the podcast? Can you think of any kind of... we talked about... Oh, there was something we tabled. Kids teaching conferences. Ooh. All right. YouTube and all of our peers out there watching us, you're probably going to throw us a big FU, but we're going to talk about some real talk. Yeah. We're not calling anybody out.
And we're not saying you're terrible.
I'm not saying you're terrible.
Because they're very good musicians.
I'll share my experience with what we're talking about, okay? So, I can't remember what year it was. Tapatio went to Albuquerque, okay? And I think if you were there at that conference and you listened to this, you probably remember this, right? And some people didn't handle it very well. The arrangements that we had there were the Ruben Fuentes, like Wapangos, the original, like da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, there's a modulation in that arrangement where you're playing E flat and A flat. Well, the two guys that were playing vihuela, that were there to teach the advanced intermediate, right? Solda Mexico was teaching the masters. I do this. I shouldn't do that, but anyways. Fucking 2 hours of sitting there watching people audition. They already know who they're going to pick. Yeah. Real productive use of all of our time. Thanks a lot. And he's texting on his phone the whole time, too. I won't name who it was. And so we go to this class after 2 hours of sitting in there. And I'm there with some of the kids, right? And I'm obviously in Tapatio. And so it's like, okay, whatever. Let's just have a good time, right? Let's just chill out, hang out. We're going to do this conference. We're going to make the best of it, right? The two guys teaching the vihuela portions of that advanced intermediate class couldn't play the piece. It was very obvious that they could not play the A flat, E flat portion of that song because it is very complicated. It's very fast. And unless you have really good spot on timing to get either your A flat or your A flat or your E flat or your E flat, I play it because I have a big bear claw hand. I play it like, with my thumb. So da, 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 so it's easy for me. I remember a lot of the advanced kids that were like high school level that were in that class were being very disrespectful to those two guys because it was so obvious that they were incapable of playing the actual piece. And so it was so obvious that they should not have been teaching that level of a song, or they should have caught up real quick. If I get music in advance...
Well, don't they have teachers' masters night, whatever, teachers' night?
Most conferences, they will send you the music ahead of time. And, you got to fucking... on point. Get it going. Don't let up. Or if you have to fake it, then that's a really bad time to fake it. But if you have to fake it, spend as much time as you need to get that music 100% down. You should have it to the point where you don't even have to look at the music anymore. Just like any other regular mariachi performance, right? These guys were not as well prepared. I don't know where they were from. They could have been from El Paso. They could have been from New Mexico.
L.A.
Could have been from L.A. I don't think they were from L.A. They didn't have the look. But they were definitely from the Southwest. But they weren't prepared. And so a lot of the high school kids and the college kids were starting to get a little antsy. Because, when you're a student and you see that the money that you've paid to be taught by somebody at a level that is not at above your level, you get antsy, right? You get a little like, oh, I'm better than this guy, right? So you get a little cocky and a little shitty attitude. I was happy because I was able to hold it together. And I didn't act like that. I'm just sitting there like, okay, how do you want me to play this? Because I know how to play this. I've been playing this for a long time. I played this in our group, and we play it very well. And you're telling me that I'm playing it wrong. I'm like, okay. So I started going through the music. I was like, that's okay. Dun 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 dun. Do you want me to slap here or here? And he's like, well, I don't know. What do you mean to slap? And I'm like, well, there's two ways to play this. There's with a slap like, or it could just be dun 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 dun. Which way do you want me to do this? And I was really trying to not.
It wasn't on the music at all.
I think it was like the Pepe Martinez arrangement. It was photocopied. It was a little tough to read, especially at the very bottom of the page when you have all this stuff in there, right? And I was like, "There's two ways to play it. How do you want me to do it?" And he got mad at me. I think he thought that I was challenging him. He got really shitty with me, and I'm just like, "Okay, man." And so I just kind of shut off for a little bit. I was like, "All right, cool." And he focused on me. He's like, "No, I want you to play it." And I was like, "Okay." So I was like, "Can you count me off?" And he started counting me off. He's like, and I was like, and I was like, "I'm gonna play this if you want me to play it." And then he's just like, "Oh, okay, you got it." I was like, "Oh yeah, thank you, yeah, I got it." Fucking prick.
Wow.
Yeah, it was bad. And I was trying really hard not to be myself.
That's hard to do.
I was trying really hard to not be myself because I can be a little arrogant and not so humble. I admit it, man. I can be a real arrogant guy. I was trying not to be because there's kids around, and I'm just like, okay, I don't want to be that guy because what's going to happen? They're going to be Jason's an asshole. He's setting a bad example.
Oh, yeah. Then you're the douchebag. Then you end up the douchebag.
I'm the douchebag.
And then you're never invited to anything ever again.
Yeah, I didn't want to do that. Yeah. But by the end of that conference, I'm like, this is bullshit. I'm never coming back
here. Yeah. I've been. It was so different. When I was with Aslan.
Back in the day.
Back in the day, man. You did not see anybody even near our age teaching, trying to teach.
Yeah.
Those big groups took over all of the teachings.
Well, you have Vargas and you have Cobre.
You have Camperos.
And you have Camperos. Who else except for the directors of the groups? The directors that are responsible for the groups are calling the shots and teaching in the classes.
Now it's and I don't know if it's just now where we come from that the conferences are held that way. Is it like that everywhere? I have no idea. I
have no perspective on this. I've heard of this. I've heard of people tell me this about people that are like in their young 20s teaching advanced intermediate at the conference. I really don't have a perspective because I have not been in those classes since I was in Chongos back in the day. I have not taught at the Tucson conference. I have no idea.
Well, I've seen youngsters teaching at the master's level with assisting the big groups.
Are they pretty much at that level?
No.
Okay. That's a little troublesome.
Yeah, I think to learn the song, fine. You can read the music, learn the music, but at a musician, like your personal self, are you really at that level?
You got to ask yourself that question. If you have people that are in those positions and they don't, like when I went to go teach in Las Cruces, I was for a long time, the entire time until before I started the conference, I'm like, am I ready for this?
Yeah.
Am I really at this level? I don't feel like I am, but someone thinks I am, so I'm going to give it everything I got, right? I'm going to make sure I got it down. And yeah, I remember that was stressful because, some of the intermediate kids were really rowdy, and it's like, guys, can you kind of keep it down? And they're like, fuck you. And it's like, oh my God.
Yeah. Like, do we have to play this? Can I just play Cascabel for the next 3 hours?
Yeah. I remember I did kind of have to show up one of the guitar player. I could tell he was older, right? And you're surrounded by kids from like the elementary level all the way to the high school level in his class, right? And so he's getting a little bored. And I was like, okay, cool. We had a little bit of rest, right? And I was like, let me show you something. I was like, can you play an upslap? And it was rough. I was like, okay, so here's how you could approach this song. And here's how you could do this. And I was like going through the techniques that I have on YouTube, right? Just playing it upslap on guitar. An upslap on a guitar is a bitch to get well, right? It's got to come from hours of bleeding knuckles because you're going up against steel strings.
Blisters. And oh my God.
And I could see that he didn't quite have it. He had a little bit of a fetal hand. I'm like, okay, so let's play this. Let's play that. I wasn't doing it in a cocky way. I was like, let's try this. And then all of a sudden he realized, he's like, oh, wow, he's taking me places that I'm not comfortable going. And I thought I was comfortable with myself. And I wasn't showing him up. I was like, okay, let's count it. Go through. Okay. I was going through a couple of variations of this. I was like, this is kind of how you can start modulating and changing the tempo and keeping it in time.
Yeah.
And he was just like, oh, wow. Okay, cool. I was like, so does that kind of answer your question? Like how you can make it more interesting or, and he's like, yeah. And he's like, he really wasn't ready for that. And I said, honestly, however it's written, that's how we need to play it. Because you need to play with all of the students that are going to be performing Saturday, and you don't want to be the guy standing out on that stage.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a cool, fun technique, but don't do that on stage, okay? I'm just trying to give you your whole value's worth of this time.
Oh, yeah, no, and it's like one of the people that I play with. I'm sure you're going to watch this, too.
Oh, man. Calling people out.
You just when they throw in, say we're playing a Javier Solis.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Okay, yeah, you know who I'm talking about. Say we're playing a Javier Solis arrangement.
Oh, my God.
And they throw extra chords, extra little dynamic chords that really don't...
Yeah.
They don't go in there. You know that... I don't know, when you're playing... say you're in D minor. You're going down D minor 7. Then what is that? D6 and...
Yeah, D6, add 9.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like, why do you throw that in there if it doesn't go in there? I don't know. I had to say it out there because we're going on about how students
don't listen.
Don't
have any perspective.
Don't have no perspective.
I've seen adults do that.
Oh God.
I've seen a couple of adults that didn't study theory back when I was a student. Right. I had this problem when I was like 20 years old, and I was studying theory, and I'm like, I know how you can modulate. And then I hear the violins playing kind of a jazzier triad. I'm like, ooh, okay, they're playing Tu Sonrisa with kind of a D minor 7, and the bass is playing an A, so I can play an F major 7, and it'll sound a little jazzier in the restaurant, right? It sounds different.
But make sure it fits.
Yeah, because
it might be in your head,
right?
But when it comes out, it might not fit.
Well, I was doing that every now and again when I was by myself, and then the guy that I was playing with, he kind of saw me doing that, and he's like, "Hey, what is that? What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Okay, all right, bro, all right, no big deal." Get fucking pissed, and then I would see him do the same kind of shit where it didn't fit, and I was like,
it just doesn't go.
I was like, ooh man, like, so if you're supposed to end something on D major, sometimes you can throw in a D major 7 if the violins are still trailing with a fifth in the tenor, right? Or if you have a third in the bass, the violins play that kind of stuff, right? You can do that. He was playing it when it's like D major 7, and I'm just like, oh bro, it sounds so bad. Don't do that.
That's the thing. For anybody listening out there, for Javier Solis, or any Javier Solis arrangement,
have some respect, first of all.
Dude, you don't have to fix anything.
No.
Those arrangements were written beautifully.
Yeah. They're almost near perfect. Did that fucking die again?
Yep.
Oh, man. We're still live recording. All right. Well, that about wraps it up for the podcast. I think we've thoroughly offended and pissed everybody off.
We're going to continue with students teaching students, basically.
We want to talk about your experience, your first experience with this group of youngsters in Phoenix. How it went, how it's going. Mm-hmm. We're definitely going to keep track of this. So thanks a lot, guys, for listening. Sorry for the battery running out on my camera. So if you would like to support the channel, please click on our Patreon account, and so we can buy some better equipment so we can stop doing this shit. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on YouTube. Please subscribe, like. Really, the way that this works, guys, if you've made it this far, I've kind of put out some feelers out there to people, some high-level folks, if they want to speak on the podcast, if we want to have really cool guests in here on their perspective, and they're being directors for 20 years or for 15 years, and we want to get them in here, and really we want to make it worth their while is to get views, get likes. The more views and the more attention that we can draw, the better content that we can give you guys. So please do support the channel, like, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, check out our website, PlayMariachi.com. We're going to be selling some nonsense on there pretty soon, so it'll be a lot of fun.
Play Mariachi.
Play Mariachi.
Stay humble, people.
Miguel, thanks for coming in, brother.